Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here,
And BlueDragonFive.
and we're back to recap the latest episode of Fox's retelling of the Dark Knight mythology, entitled, oh God, Tonight's the Night. So join us, will you, as we venture into Batman's birthplace?
And explore Gotham.
We're just brimming with excitement, BlueDragonFive, aren't we? We're just like, I actually just downed the Starbucks double shot, so I am kind of jumping off the walls. But oh boy, this is. You warned me, man. You warned me about this one. You were like, "Oh, Tiki, it is bad. It is bad." And no, you're right. You're right. Okay, I'm going to make a bold statement right now. I would wager to say that outside of the fucking trilogy of suck that was would you agree? Outside of those 3 episodes, this is probably the worst one in the entire series.
Along with the Ogre episodes, this is the worst episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, because I really want to say this is the worst episode. I mean, the Ogre set, I can't remember off the top of my head what plot stuff we got in the Ogre set, Enigma killing Doherty.
We did not get much. We did not get much in those.
That's the thing.
Episodes.
So, I mean, I don't know really how. Yeah.
I think the Ogre stuff is worse. I do.
I don't know. This episode was pretty bad. That's the thing. I can't really. They're both really bad.
Yeah. So, all right. So I know you're not ready, but we have to do it. So let's just break it down.
Yep.
Oh boy.
You first.
Okay. So we open. Oh God. This is a batshit crazy.
All right, I'll do it. Actually, I'll tell you what.
No. I got it.
Let me build you. I want to build up this sequence.
Okay.
So, folks, let me tell you. So, the episode, my view on it. Yeah, I really do hate this episode with burning passion. But let me just walk you through my experience with this. So, basically, the opening of this, there was a point within this episode where the whole thing just kind of derails into terribleness. But the opening here is not bad. I want to make that clear. This opening is not bad.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's our worst nightmares, but hey, that's what it's trying to do.
That's what I'm saying. So basically, there was a point where everything just kind of flies completely off the rails and is beyond saving. But again, this bit, though, to the openings, that's okay. It's kind of an interesting stylistic change.
It is.
And again, bear in mind, Barbara has, until the rest of this episode, she had improved slightly. You know, basically, bear in mind, improved for this character is basically giving up hope on her being one way and just made peace with her being crazy and just being villainous. You know?
Yeah, you cut out right there. I'm sorry.
Right, I cut out. Yes, basically we made peace. Really, accepting Barbara, just making peace with the fact that she's beyond saving, and we accepted her as a villainous character, really.
Yeah, but now this is going back to just like Barbara's just awful.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, it starts off. So Barbara's dream wedding rehearsal turned nightmare.
Oh boy. So Barbara's walking down the church aisles, an old woman's playing the organ. Jim's there, and he's happy.
Which obviously, just right off the bat, you know something's up. Gordon's almost.
I know.
So, I mean, aside from little cute bits of Leslie, he's never happy.
And they, they have a little banter. They're like, "Oh, ready for the practice run? No, I'm ready to skip ahead and get married right away, baby."
Well, sir, for a moment, I thought, okay, maybe it's a bit of like actually a rehearsal of some kind. For a moment, I know it was like, oh, sounds.
I actually thought it was a flash forward for a second.
No, I didn't go. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's a flashback to like when because they said rehearsal instead of like the actual course.
Okay, that could be.
But then the proceedings start, and then we get this bit of like, do you take your unlawfully wedded wife? And then Barbara stops and it's a rehearsal after all, nothing big loss here, just her point. I'm sorry, you said unlawful, father, you said unlawfully, and then that's important. This line comes back, by the way. Let me make this clear. So Gordon says, "Oh, for God's sake, Barbara, just answer him." Like, just
for God's sakes, Barbara.
No, actually, what he says, and I love Ben McKenzie the way he delivers is like so. So it's like, I think Ben McKenzie just made peace of these scenes of like saying, "Well, there's no saving this." Like,
oh yeah.
The way he says it's pretty funny. Just saying, you don't really get a lot of comedy from Gordon, really, aside from just kind of witty retorts that Gordon has. Like, it's him saying, "Just answer him for God's sake, Barbara." And then this is kind of cool. Again, the opening kind of has some neat moments there. Then basically she looks up, and the penguin's the father, which I think is some nice symbolism there. Remember, she has met the penguin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure you know Lady Penguin has ties to Gordon, which maybe in her mind threw her life into disarray, which of course makes sense. He'd be kind of the father of all this, and of course being unlawful, king of unlawfulness in Gotham. I'm the king of Gotham! And then
Gallivan becomes the organ player.
I thought that was kind of cool. I like him just play, because the idea of like, orchestrating this, get it? He's orchestrating this. But also I just love him playing the organ and playing. So then the music turns operatic, and there are inmates in there, and then
batshit randomly a bird just flies out of her mouth. Is that supposed to be some symbolism or
no?
what?
No, Tiki. It's a reference to Batman Returns.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite clever. I did like, again, the opening here's not bad.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about with Batman.
And what's really funny about it, so it's Reverend's Batman Return, Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, she...
Of course.
Michelle Pfeiffer going for it, really. She actually put a live bird in her mouth when she shot that. Anyway,
I love that kind of dedication, right?
Yeah, anyway, so what's so funny is that the penguin said, "How did you do that?" Just a little fun little... Anyway, also, I have a bit of a letdown in this scene, though. Again, as much as I can compare, believe me, folks, compare the rest of it. This is the highlight. Believe me,
It is. Like totally.
Unfortunately, missed the opportunity here. No Jerome in this scene, which I was bothered by. I mean, all this laughing, no Jerome.
That's
seriously. She met Jerome.
Jerome were kind of buddies for a while.
Yeah. Call him Ginger, all that stuff.
Oh God.
Then we see Barbara bounding gay, watching the proceedings. This is kind of a funny shot, though. I did kind of like this, especially the fact that these two are actually getting married in real life. I thought it was really funny.
Barbara and Gallivan are getting married in real life?
Not Gallivan, Gordon.
Wait.
She's married.
Okay, so Tompkins and I'm sorry.
Tompkins, basically Miranda Becker and Ben McKenzie in real life are getting married and having a child. Good for them. But there's this really funny shot, just them laughing their heads off, and Leslie in the wedding garb, and just like Barbara's worst nightmare is really funny. Then Gallivan on the organ, and basically the build up and stuff. And then guns pointed at her, wakes up to.
I gotta say that shot of all the guns drawn on her really reminded me of something out of Zack Snyder.
You know what's kind of funny about it? It's like if we look back at the season one, all our thoughts on Barbara, basically just have an image, a single image to sum up our just like her bounding gag with all the guns on her. That's how we feel about Barbara.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
That is very therapeutic. The opening's therapeutic, the rest is torture. Okay, anyway, so Barbara wakes up from her nightmare, and she's got a gift from Gallivan, a little wedding wrapped present. So
I do like how Gallivan, he signs his name as Love G. Yeah.
By the way, his first name's Theo, by the way. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, his first name is Theo.
Come on.
Yes.
Doesn't make much sense in terms of a signature. I mean, come on.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we have Gallivan and Tabitha. Let's see.
Jim's forcing the acceleration of their plans. They need Bruce Wayne to sign over the company soon. You're not that charming. Blah 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 blah. We need Gordon out of the way, but we can't kill him though, because now here right off the bat, bad thing in the episode right off the bat, because this makes no sense. Okay, so Gallivan says, but we can't kill him or else that would upset Bruce Wayne. So we just need him out of the way for now until he signs over the company. And now, first of all, there are two big things wrong with this. One, way back in the beginning when he promised Barbara, says, I'm going to help you get revenge on Jim Gordon. Not kill him, but like break him psychologically.
That's true.
Basically
That's true.
Destroy him. Now, that's problem number one. Two, Barbara doesn't want him dead. And actually, there's a third thing. The third thing wrong with this is that I thought the way it was going to go was like, okay, we'll just wait and get a command or something from Barbara. Like saying, like basically, they call Barbara and say, okay, deal's done, kill him. That's the only way that this plan could possibly work. Of like, okay, maybe she makes peace, breaks him first, then kills him. But none of that at all comes to fruition. Basically, a contradictory plan. So then Barbara gets the good news, which out of context sounds like a cool line, but when you factor in all the logic stuff, there really bombs badly.
So she loves her present.
Yeah, loves her present.
Doesn't mean what she thinks it means.
Yes.
That's right. Today's the day, Barbara. Today's the day you get to kill Jim Gordon.
Out of context, threatening line. In context, stupid. So, let's see. So we got Gordon and Bullock. They're presenting their Gallivan findings to Barnes. There's unfortunately, there's no reputable witnesses or evidence because plus their witnesses are in the wind, so it's not really helping them at all here. So basically, he says, "Yeah, we have evidence. We can probably get Penguin and Gilsing to talk, but they're not here, and they're criminals. So that's not helping. You have no legal evidence here." So. And I like how Barnes is hearing him out, though. So Barnes is like giving them, like, guys, I believe you if you have a lead here, but there's nothing I can present. And he points out the obvious here that, well, with no leads, if we bring him down, you're just going to laugh at us. Bullock makes one of his classic Bullock threats, but he won't be laughing for long. I like just Barnes. Barnes and Bullock this episode's pretty neat.
Yeah. Because it's a dynamic that we haven't really seen a lot before.
Lawless thuggery. Barnes not too crazy about Bullock's tactics. There's a real question why Bullock would still be around, but again, he's a good cop at his heart.
Yeah.
So bring me some real proof, then we can do something. Meanwhile, Jim and Leslie, little conversation. Barnes is right. He can't just charge in like this. I mean, he's the mayor of Gotham right now, powerful guy to go up against. This year, keep going after these powerful guys, not too good. Gordon says, "I bet my life on it that he's the guy," and then Leslie makes it. I think Leslie's. She's decent in this episode.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine. She says, I don't want you to bet your life on it.
Yeah, like, why are you always putting dying into the equation?
Right. What's up with that?
Yeah, like, don't make it personal. It doesn't have to be personal. And now, listen, the reason if I had to read into this, why Gordon feels so personally about this, because he feels betrayed by Gallivan. I'm not saying he comes across that way like it should, but he does feel betrayed by him because, again, he was kind of yet another one of those Batman figures following his kind of fallout with the Penguin.
Right.
And also, I think it's also because it makes Gordon feel very foolish because he had right under his nose, kind of like a Hank Schrader sort of thing. Like, he's right under my nose.
Totally. Which is why it's so frustrating with the Bruce situation.
Because Gordon went out of his way to promote this guy, to make Gordon look all the more foolish. So then, Trouble walks in the door.
Oh, boy.
Barbara walks in and she surrenders. Long time no see.
I must say that was kind of like Seven-esque.
Yeah, it was very Seven-esque.
The only thing she needed to do was yell, "Detectives!"
Well, it's kind of funny. There's actually this great bit. There's sometimes they've had the thing where Joker turns himself in. It's really funny. And actually, it was in Gotham Central, the story, again, the show could at times be based on. Less times than I'd like there to be, but, sometimes. That Joker turned himself in basically to distract, so Batman wasn't going after him, so that he was in the cop's possession right now, and basically just like turns himself in. And like the cops like instantly they deck him,
Okay, so Gordon and Barbara, they're in a holding room. Gordon's kind of trying to get information out of her.
Now, first of all, interrogation room set looks pretty nice. A little harkening back to Dark Knight.
Yeah, you're right.
There's really nice shots we get out of this. So again, it's the only positive thing I can say about this scene because real soon, it's gonna fall off the rails in here.
Okay, so
the nice setting. It's
She starts out very casual, like she's just like, "Oh, any chance I can get a latte?"
Alfred, someone bring Pennyworth here. We need him to hit somebody. Alfred, save your cheese, man. Screw the cheese. I'm going to hit this guy.
So he's not going to do it. He only hits middle schoolers.
Save your cheese. Alfred's not going to do it now. He beats children. Annoying blonde children. Or platinum blonde. We don't know. So, anyways, in the interrogation room, Barbara's saying, "Well, it's not a game." And he says, "Oh, it's a game." Gordon's saying it's not a game, as she's just trying to toy with Gordon here.
Of course it's a game, and you've been losing.
So, now up to this point, the Barbara stuff, I've just been a little harsh on her in the start of this. But from this point forward, after the moment in this scene, then it all completely falls off the rails. It all crumbles down. So basically, it's the idea here of there are some good lines at the beginning of this scene. Let me point them out. Again, they're going to go by real fast, folks. So I'm going to point them out here. So it's a game you've been losing, and she's really, if you have, the only benefit of making Barbara crazy, It's the idea that, again, it didn't really play out this way, but the idea that Barbara is a representation of the life Gordon can never have.
Right.
Is
right.
that he brings someone to the city, he's in the city, and the city kind of drives her crazy. Hence the ogre, who is like an old Gotham legend, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, city drove her to madness, which kind of like tweaked the side, just made her completely psychotic, and is a reminder to Gordon that, craziness will follow you in the city unless you do something about it, which, interesting idea, doesn't really get played around with enough. But making Barbara an evil villain is the scene where that should have clicked, and half of that starts here.
Mm-hmm.
Turns herself in, interesting plot for a moment, and she has a neat line here saying, one second. Oh yeah, right. She says, "It's a game you've been losing. It must be killing you. You having no place to go." And what that means, like, if you have a villain who knows Jim Gordon so well, like she knows like how he stresses out about the job, like using that against him, that's a good idea. I like that aspect of it.
Yeah, totally.
That's what you should have done with Barb. That's what they could have kept going. It's like, Gordon, because you know what he fears, and this is really eating away at him. That's what you play with. That's what makes you a good villain for him. But then it just turned. Then the rails.
Yeah, I would assume after that it's just like.
Yeah, so that's the moment where the episode dies, folks. So a little eulogy. I don't think we have time. That's all. But just say goodbye
on the episode.
Just say goodbye.
It was so young. It was only a few minutes in.
Just say goodbye to the good part of the episode, folks. All this point, all that stuff up to that point was tolerable. Gone.
We have some good stuff with Nigma.
Okay, let me. That's my other thing. I want to address this. Okay, so the episode is terrible except for the one good part, which is completely predictable. But it's.
You're right. It is completely predictable. But
take the predictability out of it. It's good stuff. It's still not helping. It's just there.
I don't know. I didn't predict Nigma was going to continue the killing a person over a sandwich thing. I did not predict that.
Well, you'll look anyway. So, there. Let's see. So, sorry, folks. I'm just dreading this next beginning. Be a good part. Then she's asking, "Hey, rough me up."
I'm a bad girl. You want to hurt me just a little bit.
I think she's talking to us when she's saying this, by the way.
Yeah, and she's right. Gordon really just kind of turns to, because he's just like, you're a good woman. You're just sick.
Okay, well, before that, I'm going to rant about that in just 1 second.
Okay. I'm sure you will.
Oh, you have no idea. This scene is one of my big... This and one other scene is one of my big fuse points are for this episode. So, one, he points to Gordon for... what they're going for is that Gordon's trying to placate the crazy, which is how you actually operate with people who are crazy. You just try to placate them. You try to play to get some information out there. That's what you do.
Right.
You don't just say no. You listen to them. You hear them out. That's what you do. Sometimes, actually, sarcasm, believe it or not, actually does work with crazy people. You say, "Oh yeah, sure." So they give them talk more. That's the idea. Anyway, so he's trying to placate crazy Babs. So the idea of that, not the worst thing in the world, which is why some of the dumb stuff he's saying in this scene kind of makes. You get where it's coming from, him lying to her with Good Woman. If he's not lying to her about Good Woman, then absolutely.
Oh, if he's not lying to her, then it's like, they just went and screwed the Gordon character.
So that's the thing. I mean, you get where they're coming from with this, but still, it's stupid though.
I get where they're coming from, but they're treading some dangerous grounds. That's all I'm gonna say.
And basically, Lee in this scene has my reaction. She's like rolling her eyes into the kind of the reflection of the glass, looking upon me. So that's our reaction. That's at least my reaction.
Of course.
It's so dumb. This whole episode is just so dumb. And just, you want to hurt me, don't you? And so, yes, I want to hurt you very badly, Barbara. I would like that. Yes. It's just, you're a good woman, Barbara. Just, you're sick is all. And again, it's like, Gordon, I get you try to reach for the humanity of these bags. I get that, but you can only do so much. It's too obvious. I mean, here's the thing. Even with Gordon, again, you get the logic of the scene, but it's still too obvious the way he's approaching this. And, of course, with the most hated moment of the episode for me. Oh, my God, I hated this.
I can just hear you, like, fucking... Are you, like, smashing something?
Oh, yeah.
I hear you banging on something. Are you just, like, banging your fist on your desk or something? My God, calm down.
Sorry, it really... It peeves me. It's the stupid kiss. I only wrote in my notes, underline, stupid kiss, X3 exclamation points. Stupid kiss. So again,
especially because Gordon knows that Tompkins standing right behind that glass.
That's point number one. Point number two
is it encourages Barbara.
Point number three, most key. Like, first of all, it's a bad idea for him to be in there in the first place. But again, they said, okay, so you wouldn't talk to anyone but him. So I guess that makes a little sense. Here's where it doesn't make any sense. Regardless of that, protocol. You don't kiss someone because you know what could happen, and especially if some crazy like Barbara in the room. You know what could happen, Tiki? What if she bites his tongue off?
Yes, that is a possibility.
And he bleeds to death. You know, that's a very valid possibility. Things have happened like that. Look at Silence and Lambs. Hannibal Lecter bites the guy's tongue because he got too close to him.
Okay.
Just it's obviously a trap. It's so, and again, right in front of Leslie Thompson.
Admiral Akbar would just be going fucking nuts this whole episode.
Yeah, and
if this was set in the Star Wars universe, then Admiral Akbar would be at the GCPD the whole time, being like, "What is Gordon doing? It's a trap. And again, it's obviously a trap.
And I hated this from the promo, just the idea of Gordon kissing her in front of Leslie Thompkins. You could have just been, what he does following this is a little slightly funny, yet again still dumb. It's just him just being like super nice to her, just saying, "Well, Barbara, come on, tell me." Which is kind of like, why couldn't he just be nice to her instead of stupid kissing to her? You know,
I don't know. Maybe he thought the kiss would kind of like fuck with her head enough.
So here's the thing. Then she turns like all like she's playing up like, "Oh, I'm damaged. I'm crazy damaged." Ooh. Basically saying, "There's still hope for me. The world's not dead yet." Something like that. But basically it's just saying, we know, like, we the audience and everyone in the room knows it's bunk and they're wasting their time. I'm not going to get anything from her. What's the point? And it's again, he just could have been just pleasant, smiley Gordon, which is pretty funny. And no kiss. Kiss completely pointless. I hate that kiss.
Yeah, I will not argue there.
So much. We do get a really great shot following it, though. Just really kind of cool. I like the creepy Barbara moments, though. Those are nice.
It is a legitimately creepy Barbara moment.
And what sells it for me, it's not just the shot itself, like her walking up to the mirror because she knows she is senseless.
Oh yeah. She has like Leslie Tompkins like heat vision powers.
But here's what I love. It's like I love just Barnes looking upon her. Like, man, this is scary. Just like looking at her, like, oh man, she knows you're there. How does she know that you're
right?
So that to me, again, we get some good creepy Barbara moments, especially with mirrors. So again, I think visually, again, from the promo, aside from the kiss, I like how Barbara's looking in this episode. That okay, she's kind of crazy Barbara off the rails, having a grandiose plan that might show potential. Of course, in this episode, all pans out horribly. Absolutely, atrociously. Okay, moving on. So Barnes smartly knows that she's up to something. So again, the writers think they're approaching this smartly by just kind of justifying, okay, we know it's a trap. Okay, you know it's a trap. Do something about it.
Yeah, right. It's like everyone knows it's a trap, and yet they keep going into it and going into it.
It's like they know it's a trap, and they have very bad precautions for this, but they don't have just I don't know. So if they know it's a trap, Jim suggests they play along, which is obviously a bad idea, which is shot down by both Leslie Tompkins and Leslie Tompkins. Says, "Well, look, Jim, she's mentally ill. She's got, she's gone crazy." And then Bullock says, "Yeah, it's another reason. She's not crazy at all because she's smart as a whip. This is an obvious trap. She's playing us."
I like that moment from Bullock. Bullock sees it when it's like I like how he he's like, no, she is crazy, yeah, but she's insanely genius too, in a way. Yes. In her own little conniving, twisted way, she's kind of a genius.
And Barnes is saying, well, whatever way it is, it's still a bad idea, so we're not going for that. And I'm sure that kiss didn't. Then what about that? That kiss didn't help either. And again, calling back the kiss. And just then, Leslie saying, yeah, Gordon says, oh, it was a judgment call. A judgment call! A judgment call!
Yeah, it was a poor judgment
Leslie, call. Then you get the stupid, predictable thing, and then Leslie saying, oh, the judgment call was it? Yeah, I know you're jealous, Leslie. I'm very pissed off at him right now. Oh, my God. Anyway, so let's see. So Jim says it's the only way to get information, which here's the thing. As much as I do hate the circumstances around this stuff. Jim does kind of have a point. He does get information in the end doing this stuff. So I mean,
yeah, he does. He does.
I'd like to say there are better ways to go about this, and there probably are.
There are far better ways to go about it.
You name some forms to satiate my anger at myself for being too blinded.
Well, I mean, like, they could have just tried to negotiate with Barbara instead of essentially give her the power and let her call the shots. I mean, that's really the problem here.
Negotiation wouldn't have worked, though.
Well, I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, I know there has to be a better way to handle it instead of just like, let's give her the keys of the car, essentially. Let's see where she takes us.
Right.
Essentially. Anyway, so again, obvious trap. It does get results, which is kind of important in the end, but still going through all this. But this much risk seems very stupid to me. So I'm just saying, there has to be some other way we're not thinking of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, so let's see. So Lee's opinion is that she needs treatment, not this. She needs to be put directly into a mental hospital, not this. Well, I agree, but after we use her for this, after we grill her on the ride over to wherever she's taking us for information, because we know it's a trap. Basically, they're hoping that you see the strategy, but still it's a really dangerous strategy. It's
like reckless. Yeah.
You get what they're going for. It's okay. Well, we know we're riding to a trap. We're going to hopefully get information out of her playing along with the trap before we get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's the only way to link Gallivan, and it basically sells Barnes on saying it's the only way to link Gallivan to everything. So okay, gives him the okay, which bad idea. So let me take a moment here, just because there was a little mention of kind of Barbara being crazy in the scene, literally by a medical doctor. I want to address what I think Barbara's psyche is in this episode.
Okay.
Not in this episode. I think I kind of pieced together what Barbara's issues are. My guess is that this is not a psychologist or psychoanalyst or any of that. So bear in mind, amateur's opinion. If I were to speculate, it'd be like Barbara would probably start off as like kind of a spoiled rich girl who kind of developed a mental illness either directly or indirectly from her cold, controlling parents, which we saw they were really cold, unloving people. We saw that.
Oh yeah, they definitely were, for sure.
Now I'm saying that whether they were just kind of rich snobby people, just saying like, oh no, don't be the prim proper little girl, that sort of thing, or if it was like they were horrible people we didn't get to see again, it was all ambiguous, and we're never going to see that again because they're dead now. Right. But seriously, the point is there were some mental scars, and I'm thinking whatever they did, it just devolved to the point where just a simple no would be like completely like locking her away and throw away in the key, like even it's like no to ice cream, like no to ice cream. It's okay, lock her away. So basically, she hates any idea of being controlled or is kind of ignored. So again, she acts out when she feels ignored, which we saw all over season 1 of Gotham. Mm-hmm. Gordon just literally, smartly says, "Well, listen, Bart, I don't want. Let me in on the information that monster Victor Zsasz. That
monster Zsasz."
But you see what I'm saying, though? With that, it's just that she's acting out if she's not getting attention 24/7. And Gordon's smartly putting her to the side, not telling her every gruesome thing of her day, which she obviously can't handle. So she's like a spoiled child, essentially. That's her illness. Okay, so it could perpetually being it started off as just perpetually being a spoiled child, but then it got worse with she withholds these grudges and stuff, and with the ogre's encounter, held a grudge against the parents, and with the ogre encounter, that just kind of turned her jealousy and her kind of her bad personality traits violent. The whole kind of the bondage stuff and literally the guy embodied control. He wanted like the ultimate partner. That's what he wanted, and that kind of turned Barbara violent, just completely snapped her in two mentally. And she wants, and the whole idea within this episode, I'm guessing, is that she wants control on her own terms. That's the whole plot behind this Gordon revenge. She wants what she set out to, but completely on her own terms and psychotically so.
Okay.
My assessment of Barbara is figuring out what the heck's wrong with her. Meanwhile, so we get an Enigma doing stuff. That's not terrible.
It's not terrible, no.
So did you catch the little Easter egg?
What was the Easter egg?
When he drives up, his license plate says, it doesn't say directly, but it's like it says Riddler essentially. It's like RIDLL.
You mentioned that.
Well, it says RIDLLVR. Obviously, it doesn't spell Riddler, but it's like close to Riddler, look-wise. And do you think that's like literally the birth of the Riddler's? It's kind of the name. Do you think he bought that car or he already had that car? What do you think?
I don't know. I honestly think that's kind of dumb if that is the birth of the name.
Well, not I'm saying not just come from lifespan. I'm saying he kind of has that kind of name, like a cutesy little name for himself because he likes riddles. I mean, all the riddle stuff I got in season 1. It's like he likes riddles, so he calls himself the Riddler, but no one really takes notice of that.
True.
So what do you think? I think that's too far to go with the name Riddler already. With that, like not calling himself directly the Riddler, but just kind of having Riddler around him.
I don't know. I do like the way they're gradually building it up. We have to, as you said last episode, we're really, we have to work for that green. You know what I mean? They're really
essentially,
green.
Essentially, that's the thing. Like, he is kind of now Riddler. I mean, he's kind of on the path to now being Riddler.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's in the adolescence of Riddler. Now Riddler has been born. So that's the idea here. Now, maybe the Riddler card, the Riddler plate is kind of something kind of symbolizes that, maybe?
Perhaps.
That's all I was speculating, because they look really off. Like, oh, Riddler is a license plate. A little obvious. Anyways, Enigma is in the woods disposing of Miss Kringle's body.
And one of my favorite bits in the whole episode comes when he's dragging the trunk with her body in it, and he goes over a bump or something, and he just apologizes. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, Miss Kringle. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, which is hilarious. Which, by the way, a little thing with the Louis Prima songs, a little bit of continuity, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There's really in the Just Did You Go Low song, the first one.
Oh yeah.
There's this really great. I think it kind of connects to the second Louis Prima episode where he was. There's a line there saying, "I ain't got nobody."
Right.
He's got nobody, and he's looking all over for the body, and see. So I wonder if there's a bit of a connection with it, maybe some hints in these Louis Prima songs.
Perhaps. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I hope they don't just stop it now that he's not exactly in love. I hope they just don't stop the Louis Primas because I hope they keep it going.
Well, I don't think they will because they have been keeping it going after Kringle's dead.
Well, I'm saying Kringle was still involved in the episode, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it continues after that because that'd be great. I know there's at least one more kind of death related song of Louis Primus. I can't remember the name of it right now. There's like one more.
Screw just death-related songs. Just have Louis Prima in general, just because it's a great sort of contrast to the dark stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anyway, so let's see.
So then we get Silver. Oh, boy.
Hey, thankfully she doesn't have a lot to do with this episode. It doesn't help in the worst episode ever. Bruce sees Silver St. Cloud, and I wrote in my notes, hate her!
Yeah, she's pretty bad. She's
just there for a Galvin meeting, so she's off. So at least we can't have two Barbaras in the same episode, or else the whole space just kind of goes up in flames.
What if there's an episode? Oh God! What if Barbara fucking does to Silver what she was attempting to do to Selena? Just totally takes her under her wing and makes her into a fucking super fan.
Don't joke like that, T, because we're going to have that kind of with Tabitha teaching Selena, so I don't...
Oh, God. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
Okay.
That makes my head hurt.
So all our fears are not helped by this episode, folks. Just want to make that clear, so that's...
No, not at all.
Okay, so anyway, so the Strike Force is arming up, which is never a good sign in the show.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so let's see. We have so the explanation for why we have so many Strike Force guys that aren't dead. It's because there's a new crop of them, which I think might be an idea. I hope they don't just sweep under the rug. That we're throwing them in the deep end, but they're ready. So I'm thinking it's going to be kind of questioning Barnes' judgment calls for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that's the direction it goes in, but I don't know. This episode makes me fear a lot more. So. The minute he mentions in the kind of planning here, like the minute I don't like something, I'm pulling you guys out of there, and he needs Bullock to be the objective because he feels Bullock's the only one who can have an objective set of eyes. Remember, Bullock doesn't even like Barbara, so he's perfectly fine, just taking her out of the equation.
Bullock, he's just like, well, that's fine. No one ever accused me of getting sucked into any mind games.
Then I love Bullock's follow up after Kevin just blows him off, just saying, "Yeah, right, just do it." Okay, he says, "Glad we have this time, this chance to talk, Captain." Because Bullock and Barnes don't have these funny interactions, the most kind of odd ends of the spectrum type guys.
Okay, so here we go with Tompkins, I believe.
Yeah, Tompkins and Gordon. So sorry it has to be this way and predictable. Again, I think Leslie's kind of strong in these scenes, which I'm liking.
I mean, she is, but it's still kind of just the predictable, Barbara's going to fucking cause problems in their relationship.
Well, to be fair, I mean, this scene does actually have something that's at least a little helpful with the plot here. It's that She remember Leslie. This is set up. It's been set up before that Leslie says, "Don't make me psychoanalyze you, Mister." Essentially.
You're right, right.
And here she actually has a psycho. Gives Gordon a psychoanalysis of himself, so it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that Leslie says, "Yeah, they'll always be this way with her." Which first I didn't like, but then she points. The thing she makes a valid point, which I kind of that's maybe a direction to go. But again, the episode kind of kills everything else around this idea that you feed into each other's sicknesses. Wait, what sickness? And then she says, and then she actually makes kind of a point here. It's an interesting thing. It's a good line of the episode. Probably it's probably one of the best lines of the episode. She says,
"Probably, yeah.
You see an abyss and you run toward it, and you run towards it. That's not healthy. And then Gordon replying with, "I'm just doing my job."
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, Gordon is a guy who just kind of runs to the abyss. And that's the idea of the episode. That is kind of interesting, but again, there's not enough substance to support this episode.
And then right when we get that somewhat interesting line, Barbara has to come in and just fucking ruin it. Just take a fucking sledgehammer to it.
Mox Leslie. If we did get the two Barbaras in one scene, you know what would happen next, don't you?
Oh, God.
Hugo Strange animates a zombie version of Jerome. He reanimates Jerome, and that's how we get Jerome back. He's a zombie.
Okay, so Barbara, she's in handcuffs, but she's taunting Topkins. She's just like, "Oh, you don't mind if I borrow him for a while?"
And I'm thinking, this is such a bad idea.
It's a terrible idea. It's a fucking horrible idea. People are going to die. Almost guaranteed. Okay.
Can we just lobotomize her? Can we do something like that just to keep her quiet?
Okay, so let's see.
Again,
so Gallivan, he's talking about Bruce. If you had one dream, what would it be?
I hated this storyline too. Not as much as the
I did too. I might have hated this worse than Barbara.
Basically, folks, every scene but Enigma. Bear in mind, Enigma stuff's okay because it's predictable as all get out, but it's okay. But all the other scenes of this episode, except for the opening, terrible.
It's bad. It's really bad. It's just really bad.
I like kind of it's the way this started. I kind of like the flowery dialogue on Gallivan, which is kind of usually it's kind of a highlight, like him saying, if you had one dream, what would it be?
So
I mean, the way he's kind of phrasing, I think he's good at constructing personal speeches. Until then, of course, the logic kind of kills him, which it does big time in following this. If you had one dream come true, what would it be? Find my parents' killer. What would you do if you did that? This is interesting. There's one interesting bit here. I might come back and want to explore this. So,
I'm sure it'll come back.
So Bruce's response. So again, if you found him, what would you do? And just without missing a beat, Bruce says, "Kill him." So that's interesting because remember, he's talking to Selena, and he's not approving of Selena killing Reggie, and he said there has to be a better way of doing it. So Bruce isn't the kill kind of guy. Yet there's one guy in this world that he would kill.
But that is sort of classic early Bruce Wayne now.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of like a rite of passage that he has to go through in a way, the whole Joe Chill thing.
I gotta tell you, I'm kind of hoping eventually we get at a point where Bruce Wayne has the opportunity to kill his parents' killer. That might be a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like young Bruce Wayne, I mean, that'd be kind of neat to see him have the opportunity to kill him. That might be kind of the birth of kind of Batman's ethics of like, no, not killing him.
Okay.
I mean, aside from it being established, I'm saying now he's actually has the option, the chance.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so Gallivan wants to save the city, free it of its crime, corruption, poverty, yada yada yada. I need your help, and in return, I could help you with your dream, and I could help you your dream in return. Meanwhile, the road trip begins, going downtown.
Downtown, the lights will be shining. Downtown. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised you didn't go for the moving right along to get them. I gotta tell you though, again, much as I do hate this episode, I do kind of like the visual of kind of Gordon Bullock and Barbara in the back, just like the road trip from heck of like, oh, these three should not be.
And I do like how Bullock is on point this episode, I think.
He is. Hey, Bullock's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
I like how he's just, it's great making Barnes tight ass nervous.
Yeah, basically saying, well, how do you feel about this? Bullock says, hey, that makes him nervous. I'm good for it.
So Barbara, yeah, like you said, she's tells them to head downtown. The strike force is following in a tank.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back to Gallivan and Bruce. He's investigating Wayne Enterprises, and basically he's found many things about toxic waste dumps, a lot of weapons deals, and nightmarish experiments, which I think is a little Hugo Strange nut. So Gallivan, Might have some information on Indian Hill, actually. Again, he has
I
resources.
actually had a dream about Hugo Strange last night, believe it or not.
As B.D. Wong, or was it just...
Yes, as B.D. Wong.
Wow,
yes,
really?
yes.
What did he look like? Tell me what he looked like.
I don't... He just looked like the fucking Jurassic Park guy. It was basically just the Jurassic Park guy.
What did he do? What did he do?
Dude, I don't know.
Oh, but you had B.D. Wong. He was called Hugo Strange?
Yes. I remember I had a dream where I was watching an episode and B.D. Wong as Hugo Strange was in there.
Did he do anything?
I don't know, dude. It's a dream. I don't remember specific details.
Well, did someone mention Hugo Strange? Who was in the room?
No, I was watching Gotham and I saw B.D. Wong and I knew it was Hugo Strange.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to press you to see if you're psychic, all right? No.
Okay, well, if I remember correctly, he was sort of like experimenting on a body or something like that, which very much sounds like something that he'll do, so I'm fucking psychic.
Well, we'll see. I'm kidding about the psychic thing, but moving on. So, Anyway, that's awesome. Those are the B.D. Wong Hugo Strange stream. I love that.
It happened. It's real.
Yeah, but seriously, nightmarish experiments may hint to some Indian Hill stuff, which may connect to some Hugo Strange. A little bit of name dropping. Yeah. Anyway, so Bruce swears to look into it, which I like that. It's kind of classic Bruce Wayne. I swear to you, I'm going to look into it. And then Galvin's making the point of, well, you can't. Who's underestimating who? I mean, you're a kid. And going against people that have like cover-ups and in-company kills,
Mm-hmm.
Basically, here's my offer. You sell me your shares, and you can become a billionaire. Now I can fix your company. Help Gotham in response. And, well, it's my responsibility. My parents. It's all I have left of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a respectable response. And then, and Galvin's saying, well, looking into your parents' case, I found something. You weren't. Let me ask. Essentially, he's asking, well, you weren't alone. You weren't supposed to be there that night, were you?
Right.
And he's kind of revealing some details, which is interesting. So, your mother and your father were going to the theater, and your father changed his mind to go to a movie, and he invited you. And you got there late for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, well, how do you know this? Well, the man that killed your parents, he followed your father. And, yeah, so basically it took some doing, but I found him. I found your parents' killer. And, remember, he's going to, in making this deal, Bruce will also be really wealthy. So basically, in return, for, you sell me your shares of your company, you become very wealthy, and I give you your parents' killer. And
it's not just the killers; it's the accomplices, the how, the why,
documented proof. So basically, this is it. The whole shebang here he's offering him. Now, essentially, he's extorting Bruce Wayne right here.
He is.
So here's what I'm thinking. If I'm Bruce Wayne, here's where the logic Bruce not instantly being wary of this guy is a big problem.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because if someone's extorting you, basically offering you a trade, I mean, obviously he's not your friend if he's trying to get something from you in terms of like the big thing, your dream. You literally told this man a few moments ago. It's your dream to find the killer of your parents, and obviously he's not your friend if he's holding this over you. Well, I'm not going to give this to you if you don't sell me your company.
Right.
So he's up to something, which in turn means, okay, he's not your friend. He's still having you over. He's up to something.
Yeah, you would think that would go through Bruce's head.
I think there's a question. Do you think he actually had the parents' killer?
I don't. That's a good question, actually. It could very much be a bluff.
I don't know, though, because he had the information that sounded pretty credible. Like, oh, you weren't supposed to be there today. Follow me. And then again, like, my instant reaction was like, no, he doesn't know who he is. It's a bluff. But then again, he does have resources. And he mentioned, the experiments and stuff. So I think he might actually know some stuff about the company. And remember, here's the important part. It might actually be true. He kidnapped Sid Bunderslaw, remember?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sid Bunderslaw was the top dog at Wayne Enterprises, so he might actually torture him. He said, we'll torture you later, which means he tortured him, which means he got information, which probably why, of all people, kidnapped that guy aside from getting the knife.
Okay, I see where you're going.
So he might actually have legit information here.
Mm.
Now, it's ambiguous, so. We're in the car.
Oh, where's your spirit of adventure, Jim? Don't look so glum.
Yeah. Like Kooky Babs, just like the way she's playing this scene is like Gordon's trying to press her for some details here, and just like mapping her hair, like do. It's like Kooky Babs. That's what she is in the scene. And Gordon's just trying to point out the obvious here, which Gordon's absolutely right. You're saying, well, he'll kill you. He's just using you right now. He's going to kill you afterwards as soon as you outlive your use.
I mean, look what he did to Jerome, for God's sakes. That should be a red flag right there.
Yes. So then Bullock saying, we should probably turn the car around.
Mm-hmm. And then Babs, she's just like, well, you really don't like this Caliban guy, don't you?
Yeah. Playing dumb, which is not that hard knack for her.
Yeah.
So let's see. So meanwhile, Enigma is doing more interesting stuff. He's burying a body in a ditch. Well, he's dug the ditch already, and he's put Kringle's case or carrying case in there. And it's kind of a sweet gesture in a way.
In a way, it's terrifying,
psychotic,
but sweet.
Psychotic, but sweet.
Yeah.
You know what would have made this scene better? If we had like a little Louis Prima playing in the background.
You're right. I'm not going to argue there.
It's basically it's like basically I'll bury you after a final meal. He gives like kind of a toast to her, and it's a lovely toast actually saying, he gives her like a parting riddle. Miss Kringle, I was two halves of a broken man. I was a broken man. I was two halves. Thanks to you, I'm whole again. Thanks to you, I'm whole. Which is kind of nice saying, well, you gave birth to the Riddler here. It's nice.
Yeah, it's terrifying, but at the same time, it's a nice sentiment.
Yeah, and then as he's making the toast, he gives her a final riddle, and I don't know what the riddle was exactly, but then just appears out of nowhere, almost like a Batman entrance of sorts, almost. Just a guy. It's a bit of a Batman's reference with the line following, saying, it's not polite to sneak up on people. It's basically a large, dopey hunter appears, just saying, oh, is that some sort of riddle? And he's just saying, it's not polite to sneak up on people. Well, usually there aren't any people out here. And then, obviously, Enigma is like saying, okay, body inside there is going to catch on real soon. He's like saying, can I offer you a tea sandwich? A tea? What? What's that? He sees a little trash bag sticking out of the case. What's in there? And then basically he pulls a psycho. Enigma literally pulls a Psycho 2 on this guy. He kills him in Psycho 2. There was a very famous kill with a shovel. It was really funny.
Okay.
Norman Bates killing someone with a shovel, just like literally in the same manner as this, just like mid sentence is like shoot, shovel, hits the guy back of the head, and he falls down into the grave, and then he was saying, hi, now it's time to improvise.
Oh boy. Okay, so Jim, he's still trying to reason with Barbara, but Barnes is on the other end.
The convoy's entering the danger zone, which means you have advantage points. Ambush territory, essentially.
They're boxed in. There's lots of cover.
There was a nice bit in this scene, though, with Bullock. Really nice bit with Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Jim tells Bullock, I need more time, and Bullock, because he has faith in his partner, he has faith in Gordon. I love that. No matter what, he's his partner. He's got to be there for Gordon. He says, "I'm sorry, Captain, bad connection." Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then we get this this shot again. We get creepy Babs mirror shots, and this was actually a good creepy Babs mirror shot. It's like her in the reflections. It looked really good. We had a life. So now she knows she's getting closer. She's revealing a little more details as to the plan. Says, we had a life. Like basically, come on, Barbara, don't throw away your life. We had a life. Real love. You asked me to marry you. And basically, she's giving some details here. I had the dress, I had my wedding dress. We had the church, etc., etc. Importantly, the church is mentioned. Admitted, you love me, don't you? And then this is a little callback to the dream. Gordon says, "Oh, for God's sakes, Barbara, I don't give up."
You're right.
Oh, for God's sakes, Barbara, I don't give up. And then just now again. Really great practical effect, though. It looked great.
It is.
The truck crashing into the cop car. It looks like a really great looking stunt. Man, which instant flaw in the plan here. What if it killed them all?
Yeah, I definitely thought about that too. Actually, for a second, I considered that it wasn't part of the trap. It was just a random accident.
No. That's a big part of the thing. That's the thing. It's like. I mean, I get sometimes people do try that escape attempt, in movies and stuff. You see that happen like that. But Barbara didn't even scooch to the side or anything. She should have known that was coming. No, right. She knew enough that it was coming that she was monologuing to Gordon, "Oh, I know. Now is the time to exposit the plan before you knocked out." but still, I mean, you don't take. How is she alive?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gordon's lucky. I'll give him that. Bullock, both. I was a little worried for him for a moment.
I was worried for Bullock as well, man. I was kind of.
He had a serious head. He had a serious looking head wound. Just saying, he was pretty. He looked. Plus, he lost his hat. That's the most important detail of all. Bullock lost his hat in the explosion. Sorry, in the crash. I don't know why I say explosion. Anyway, so I like how this is shot. You know, Gordon awakens. There's a little firefight going on because the convoy comes to a stop. You know, men and women with guns firing at him. A lot of people die. Thankfully, I was going to say I would have had another problem with it had our SWAT guys died, but apparently just getting rounds in the chest, so they just got out of there. So.
Yeah, because that would have just been. It would be like the strike forces, just like literally like the red shirts.
No, what really bugged me about is if that happened, it would be like, Gordon, you led them in trap. You killed innocent people. That's not good. That's
true. That's true as well.
But again, they're armored, so they're fine. And anyway, so then we get this really cool bit here where Gordon awakens and a little groggy from the crash, and he sees Barbara out of the car, and then he pulls the gun on her. This is a cool bit. Where are you going? Let's see. So he awakens, pulls the gun on. I'm trying to think what the line was. I was about to the crash. Basically, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Shoot me, Jim? And then there's this really cool bit, like right before he's about to. And I want to say he was gonna shoot her. Then he's injected, which I gotta tell you, that's a kind of a cool commercial break. Then he gets injected. And it is. That's how you do that sort of things. I mean, the ambush. I mean, a little sloppy perhaps in the planning stage of it, but I mean, it's a cool sequence though.
Sure. Okay, so Barnes is he's setting up perimeters. He's gonna kick down everything with four walls and a roof to get Gordon back. So I like that.
I was worried about Gordon because regardless he's one of our men. And again, I hope I hear they're gonna play with this next episode. But remember, Barnes does look up to Gordon.
That's true. I have a feeling next episode is when Gordon's going to have his big confession to Barnes.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, so Barnes is peeved at Bullock, though. He's peeved at the situation. He's really peeved at Bullock. He chews him out. Now, I think do you think he fires him or just tells him to go home?
No, I don't think he fires him. I just think he's like, just go home. You're done for the day. Go home.
That's the thing. It's a little ambiguously worded. I wish I was a little more clear with that. Yeah. I mean, regardless, it works out fine, man, I guess. So he says, oh, you got a little ringing in my head, Captain. He says, look, you don't belong here. Go home. Sounds like a firing, but I don't know.
Well, no, what I took it as is that he was just like so rattled by the explosion, or by the ambush.
Right. Well, no, it's not that. He's just really peeved at him for you're responsible for this. You didn't turn around when I told you to. Like I instruct you. He says you disobeyed a direct order. You don't belong here. That could either mean for the situation or period.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's a big deal for the episode either way.
It's not. Anyway, so let's see. So, Nigma's about to cut up our dumb hunter's body.
Well, if I can't make the hole bigger, then I'll make you smaller.
Yep. And then he notices his sandwiches are gone.
Oh boy! Oh god!
So the minute that happened, I knew. So he sees a blood trail.
Oh god!
There's a lot of for a secluded forest. There's a lot of traffic in a secluded forest.
I just love the idea in the back of my mind. Because we know that Nigma's going to go after him because he's like, oh crap, that guy saw my camp and everything. But in the back of my mind, I just love the idea that Nigma's just really peeved that this guy took his sandwiches. He's like, oh, he's going to pay for taking these fucking sandwiches.
But just the minute the sandwich was there in the blood trail, I knew who it was. And that's why I said,
the sandwich was definitely kind of like Penguin symbolism right there.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, it's not just that the blood trail makes absolute sense because you're thinking, which character have we not seen this episode? And who would be? There's a blood trail. The blood trails that he would be bleeding. Because no medical attention. And sandwich was just the absolute seal on it. Well, sandwich is gone. Of course.
We've seen Cobblepot be very partial to sandwiches in the past.
I'd love to see. I'd love to think that Gabriel makes a good sandwich. I would like to think that. I'd love to see. This is gonna be. We'll never see this, but just be the most mundane thing I'd love to see. But I just want to see like a quiet scene after all this stuff kind of boils down. Maybe next season or something like that. Just like Gabe like wearing a little apron. He just a little white apron. He just brings up 2 plates of sandwiches and like one for like three sandwiches. One for himself, One for Penguin, one for Zez. They're just eating lunch together. Victor says, "Can you pass the milk, please?"
Please.
We'll never see that. Then Jim walks in like wanting information. He's like, "Oh, Jim, Gabriel makes a mean sandwich. Do you want one?" Okay. And Bullock says, "Yeah, sure, Bullock, but he's offering."
But it's lunch.
Anyways, we're detracting, but seriously, again, it's a good story, but again, I wish it was like the beginning. Like, why couldn't this just be the beginning of next episode or something like that? Like it just doesn't fit in this episode.
What, the Enigma stuff?
I mean, don't get me wrong, the Enigma stuff is all good, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's the only thing is like it's one legitimately good thing about this episode.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I almost don't want to like ruin the Enigma stuff because one in itself, it's predictable because we know what's going to happen, but it's like teasing us like here's a potential story, but we know where it's going, and it's just going to end the episode. And then it's
yeah.
You tease me with false hope, and then you give me the best, most interesting part, and we're not doing anything with this episode. It's just it's insulting.
Okay.
Anyway, so back to so Ed's on the trail to find the sandwich thief. So, Bruce and Alfred are in the cave, which is a nice little scene here in the setting of the cave. I'm not crazy about the light coming in, but
that's fine.
Yeah.
I like how Alfred he walks up to Bruce, and at first he's all authoritative, and he sees that Bruce is troubled, and he's just like he drops his demeanor. He's just like, "What's up?" Yeah,
and I like this. Let's call back to the Selena slap. It's that, well, I need to ask you something. I need you to be honest with me. I'm always honest with you. And there's like a pause goes by. Yes, I promise to be honest with you. Because remember, it's kind of a secret he's keeping from Bruce, the whole Selena slap.
It is a little bit.
Just saying. Anyway, so Bruce is wondering, he's kind of mulling over, he's holding the contract that Galvan gave him, he's kind of mulling over the decision to sign. He's asking, how many years would it take my training to save the city, essentially? Mm-hmm. He says, well, it'll take many years. I mean, it will get you there. It'll take many years to make you the man you need to be to save the city. Mm-hmm. But how many people will suffer and die in the meantime? Anyway, so he's asking what's bringing this about, and Galvan walks him through the whole Galvan's deal, basically giving information, giving the company gets the parents' killer.
Well, that's not an offer. That's bloody extortion.
It is. And Alfred's making a very point, an obvious point that Bruce should have picked up on.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Bruce is still being naive about it. He's like, well, there's a fine line. Yes, there is a fine line, and he crossed it.
Yes, and it's interesting. The scene, I think parts of the scene following that are well written, but I mean the logic of it is like it's too obvious to work. It's like this stuff we should know already. It's like it's the obvious decision. It's a pointless scene. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. It's well, look, if Galvan, like the ending of the scene is very well acted. That's what I'm saying. The acting is very well done in the scene. I'm not saying smart things, but it's very well done.
I hear you.
Well, if Galvan can fix things, it's my duty to. Sorry, I was trying to think what it was. It's my duty to. It's my duty to fix this, for my father's company, for their legacy. And then they get this wonderful bit here. Look, your father's legacy, your parents' legacy, standing. Here's the best part. Is what makes it worth it. Your father's legacy is standing here with me.
Oh yeah, that is a good line.
And then, of course, one of the best Bruce Wayne moments we gave is I just want it to be over, Alfred. Mm-hmm. He gives him a hug and says, "You're not wrong. You're not wrong." That section of this scene is fantastic. Stuff building up to it, not good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's like half of a really good scene.
It's like it's like the acting in the scene's great, but it's just no logic behind it, though.
Okay. All right, so
the Bruce Wayne scenes are really bumming me out.
I know. So Gordon wakes up in a chapel. He's tied to a chair. Barbara's singing "Here Comes the Bride." She has a shotgun. It's just a nightmare. It's just a fucking nightmare at this point.
Zez!
Oh, God. Please, Zez!
Anyway,
Barbara, she's just like, oh, can you believe the dress still fits?
First of all, let me tell you why I hated that line, because then they cut to commercial. You mean to tell me you have this grand revenge plot figured out. He awakens, and your big line that you've planned out for all the time, you haven't been doing anything in those other Galvan episodes, the line you have is, can you believe it still fits? That's your line! That's your opening line to your revenge!
Yeah, it's pretty weak.
That's your line? Yeah.
Okay, calm down. I'm hearing the pounding noises again.
Anyway, so the idea of this scene is it's bringing Barbara's nightmare to life.
Oh yeah, and ours too. Don't forget our nightmares.
Oh, how can I forget? So anyway,
Okay.
she reflects after we come back from commercials. She reflects on the old days, oh, this is like Gordon's just trying to get to the point, just trying to talk things through. He's saying, oh, it's what it always boils down to, us and your head wrapped up in your work.
Mm-hmm.
You'll realize, Tiki, the problem with this scene is that because Barbara never had a character, they really have nothing to go with in the scene. Which is
Absolutely.
So that's my big question throughout this whole thing. Of like, that was my big, before I lost all hope watching this episode.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the promo, I was like, okay, it's an interesting idea getting her like in the wedding dress in the chapel. Looks great. It could be interesting, but I can't really think what they have to work with. And
you were more enthusiastic about the potential of this episode than I was. As soon as I saw the promo, I was like, my God, this could be like our worst nightmares incarnated.
Yep. And the thing of it is, it's like all that open potential. It's like it's the obvious thing staring me in the face. They have nothing to grasp onto with her. So there's nowhere the scene can go. There's nothing. She has no relationship with Gordon. Nothing. She stole fizzy lifting drinks.
All right.
Sorry, I'm just Gene Wild.
Oh no, it's okay. Don't apologize. This is therapeutic.
Anyway, so she reflects on the old days again. I do like the image of her as like kind of a shotgun bride with the sawed-off shotgun. I like that image.
Right.
I love the comedy of her just kind of like.
I love the whole idea of a shotgun wedding where the bride's holding the shotgun, because usually it's the father holding the shotgun.
Yeah, I love in this scene. Speaking of fathers, I love that she's really recreated the dream in the dream wedding of like, so you got the father there, the priest, the guy proceeding over them, and he's like terrified. She's pointing to all these people with the gun.
And like, these bozos, well, who knows? But we can't have a wedding without witnesses.
I'll admit, the only funny Barbara line in this episode, that line, that's the little shotgun bit. That's all.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
The rest of it, just stab her 70 times. Just do that.
All right, and then she kind of calls Jim out a little bit. She's like, you knew this was a trap, but you let the bad guys take their best shot. You're Jim Gordon. You'll find a way to live or die. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
which, again, interesting that, again, I think Leslie kind of started this idea. Again, it's an idea the episode doesn't toy with enough. It's that, I mean, it's a notion that this will hopefully, again, through less impressive means than I would have liked them to, get us to a point in the next episode where, Gordon's going to be finally faced with kind of the folly of his kind of decision-making process. And
sure.
It'll kind of lead to him kind of, again, growing into the kind of the Gordon we know a little more so. Because, again, the season's been kind of a Gordon being put through heck so far. Mm-hmm. It's the idea of, like, that's his mindset, going to the abyss, guns blazing. He's either going to win or die, which, again, Gordon has now realized is literally be tied to a chair, and he's saying, well, it's option B. It's finally here. And then Gordon's saying, just realizing, no, I don't want to die. I just love him just, like, so defeatedly saying, just the bark is like, I want to have this episode. I really do. I don't want to die. And then it says, "Oh yeah, well you're just tired. I wish it was. There's a way this could have gone, and it didn't go this way. I would have loved if she said, "You're tired, aren't you?" But she just says, "You're tired of hiding your true self." He's not hiding his true self.
No, he's not.
But
You're tired of lying to Lee.
He's not lying to Lee. And then we get a great line, though. I love we get a great line though from Gordon, just the perfect response, saying, "I don't lie to Lee."
He's like acting like an annoyed parent.
I know. I love that. I love annoyed Gordon talking to Barbara though. In this, like, Gordon has just had it up to here with Barbara.
He's like, listen, you little shit.
Yeah, it's like Barbara's turned into Angelica Pickles.
Oh God. Oh God.
You know,
And Barbara, she's just like, well, let's ask her. So Tompkins gets wheeled in, bound and gagged, and everything.
and we notice now this is actually starting. It's an interesting thing with Gordon's character is that he's more willing to die as long as he tries. Fine, but then someone else is in danger, someone he cares about. Leslie, not Barbara. Yeah, Leslie. She's tied there. The instant this happens, he says, "Lee," and then basically you see he's like working on the shrinks on the old wooden chair. He's really working his way up there, which is really nice. You know, we'll telling you about Gordon's character, which again, hopefully going forward, you get some good development of that.
And then Barbara just has a "Hey, girlfriend" as Tom Cantors, which is just like, oh.
And then Tabitha walks by. She's wearing a mask, which I'm sure Gordon's gonna easily be able to identify her.
And she's just like, we really need to talk about this bad boy. Oh boy!
You know what? You're gonna laugh at this.
What?
In my notes, when we got really bad Barbara lines, you know what I did with my notes? What? I drew a little frowny face. I swear to God, a little frowny face, just like a little. Actually, now I look at it, it looks like the little curve on the lips. It looks like really, I'm really sad. Anyway, so meanwhile, Bullock doing some good detective work, which I like. We get our timeless feel because essentially he's kind of got the black box-esque thing from the little recorder from the cop car.
Yeah, he's listening back to what Barbara was saying in the car. You asked me to marry me. I bought a damn wedding dress,
which is the church lead.
Yeah, he picks that up.
I gotta tell you, I like Bullock with the glasses on doing detective work, and he uses the old technology too, which I like. Our timeless feeling of this show.
Sure.
Barnes, he walks into Barnes' office. You get out of here right now. Look, I know where he's going. That's Finn. Oh yeah, I know. Let's go. It's a good scene, though. It is. Yeah, Bullock and Barnes.
I know I'm right.
What I liked is that Barnes isn't giving the runaround. Barnes is really smart because he does care about Gordon.
Absolutely. Because Barnes could have easily just been like, "Nah, get out of here." Nah.
Okay, then we have a very, very pointless scene. Which is, when I say I just wrote my notes pointless scene, but is the same point I made earlier because all this it's completely pointless because she doesn't like Leslie, which means there's nothing for her to grab onto. Anyway, so then who's lying now? And anyway, so then Gordon, this is smart. So again, here's the only good thing to come from this plan. So Gordon does, what he should have done in the first place, somehow coax her into kind of trick her into revealing some information. Says, like, all the lies you must have told are lies. We're talking about lies. You lied to us right now, getting us here. All this little grandiose thing you got laid out here. Says, basically, she gives him information on Galliman, which is a big bit of evidence that he can find. James is alive and he's at the docks.
Yeah, it just kind of, it's just like, oops, loose lips. There's no real context behind it. She's just like, by the way, this.
Yeah, and again, it's like clever on Gordon's part, just going to get that out of her. I mean, basically making sure this all wasn't for nothing. And again, that was the plan. So again, as much as I hate to say it, this dangerous plan did kind of pay off in the end, which means Gordon is.
Well, okay, I guess the point of her telling him that is like she's trying to make the point that she's being honest with him. So she's like, see, honesty.
Yeah.
And then Jim asks, who put him there? And then she pulls a Tabitha, and she's just like, oh, that's boring, Jim.
Okay. And then she says, again, she kind of makes, let's see, she actually kind of makes an interesting point. She says, he's an addict who thinks he can dabble in darkness, which, of course, given our first episode, definitely is kind of interesting. That the whole premise of Gordon here is that, of course, he is dabbling in darkness means kind of bending the rule, which, of course, is kind of leaning into the Batman category. Before a light like Batman comes into Gotham, like the glimmer of hope, it's darkness until that point, which hence the Penguin represents that darkness at the moment.
Sure.
It's kind of interesting. He is kind of someone who thinks he can dabble in darkness and just hide the needle marks, which is a good line. It's an interesting concept, but again, not pursued. And by the way, then she pulls the whole, like, oh, did he tell you how he got his job back? And of course, as I mentioned, Leslie knows, and she points that out.
I like that. Tompkins, she's very blunt about it. She's like, oh, we killed a man for the Penguin.
And then Barbara's saying, you really do tell her everything. And by the way, if I was speculating where she got that information, because there's really no reason she should have it, would be that Gilzine they probably got the information from Gilzine while he was in their capture.
Sure, let's go with that.
So, because remember, Barbara knows everything, supposed to know everything about Gordon, which she would still not know that information.
Right,
so.
right.
Well, it's either that Gilzine told him, which makes more sense, or that Barbara just she's so obsessed with Jim Gordon, like she knows where she knows where Leslie's apartment is.
Yeah, but still, she'd literally have to be like stalking him to figure out. Well, I would put it out of the picture.
Well, remember, she was in Arkham at the time, though, which is kind of weird.
That's true. That's true.
It has to be Gilzine. That's what I thought. But anyway, so she yells at Lee through the scene, like pulling a knife to her, and just basically, and Lee doing the smart thing. Again, this is what you do in these situations, folks. You play to the crazy. You know, she says, yes, you're right. You know, I don't love Jim as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, and what she's smartly doing here, she has to notice, is like she notices that Jim is kind of cutting through the restraints on the thing. She distracts for the escape, which leads to a painful moment. Just love you, Leslie, but I mean, points for working. I mean, I can't be mad at Leslie here, but I hate Barbara for being so stupid that she fell for it. Crazy or not?
Yeah.
You know, just.
I almost want to think there's a little bit of intentional comedy worked into her.
It's their attempt at comedy, and I mean, she's crazy, but look, there's crazy, and then there's just dumb. I mean, there's like the idea you mean to tell me she lays out this whole little grandiose plan, yet
she's like literally talking about carving Tompkins' face off.
Yeah. I wonder if that was a bit of a Joker reference, but no. I thought it's funny. Just this is what I'm telling you. This is kind of good crazy. When she says, "Yeah, I'm gonna carve your face off your skull." That's love. That's crazy. That's good crazy. Totally. Like saying, "Well, that's my effect." Just showing there's no logic to this woman whatsoever. There's no reasoning with her. Just saying, "I'm gonna cut your face off to show I'm in love with this man."
Oh man.
But
then, yeah, Tompkins, she is like,
well, "Before you kill me,
I love your dress.
Where'd you get it?
Please, where did you get it?"
Then Barbara just says, "Oh."
I think with the timing and everything, it's got to be an intentional joke. It's got to be.
I mean, it is an intentional joke. It's not that funny though. It's ridiculous.
No, I'm saying it was okay.
I'm saying it's ridiculous funny, but it just doesn't. They don't earn that.
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
I'm saying it's funny on a ridiculous level, but it cannot be taken seriously whatsoever as like a genuine funny bit. Anyway, so then we get this great bit that I saw in the promo. I was really excited about. Just like Gordon pointing the gun, Aaron's like saying, "Shoot me, Jim, shoot me."
And we're just like, "Yes, please,
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 please." Anyway, so it's kind of a cool little idea. Yeah, so Jim's pointing the gun at Aaron, and then she makes it worse, unfortunately.
Oh boy.
You're gonna kill me, Jim? Come on, Jim, I want you to do it. And then she says,
"Come on, I want you to do it.
But then she says,
"Come on, hit me!"
Then she says this line, which I drew yet another smiley face, frowny face next to. Do me.
Oh, God. Oh, that's awful.
I kid you not, after she said, do it. Do me.
That's
you can
bad.
Rewind it.
That's
you can
so bad.
Hence the frowny face.
Oh, man. Oh, God, this show.
Again, you give me an awesome moment like Gordon pointing the gun and her asking him to shoot him, and then you give it a stupid line like, do me. After do it, do me. The dumbest.
No, I will not argue there. That was freaking stupid.
Anyway, we have a shootout starts. Gordon gets to shoot a few people, and the strike force comes in. Chase ensues. Gordon running up to the second level to catch Barbara. It's not basically. Then there's at the top level. Seems like this might be going somewhere, and then doesn't. Like kind of neat action scene. It could have been the ultimate ending for Barbara, but then it doesn't.
They blew it by having it not be the ending for Barbara. They fucking blew it.
Yeah, would you want a Gordon? I know we want Gordon to shoot her, but I'm saying really though, would you want her? Would you want that to be her ending, or want it just to be the way it looked like it was going to be?
Whatever, man. Either or. I'm just saying, like now, not only have they completely tainted her character beyond redemption, but what the flying fuck are they going to do with her now? Like, what is the point of keeping her alive? I'm kind of baffled.
I mean, there's this kind of cool bit where, like, the staging this is really cool. She's in the corner, like, next to the stained glass, and has a knife. She's armed with a knife, and Gordon's just telling her stop. Then she says, "It's not over. Not yet." And she She runs, and with the knife, and they crash through the glass, and Gordon's holding her by her hand, and then she has really stupid dialogue. And first of all, I think they're quoting something that just makes me really mad if it's what they're quoting. I don't think it is, but I mean,
what do you think they're quoting?
She says, "Bad day, huh?" If that's supposed to be the Killing Jokes, is all it takes is one bad day.
Okay, right.
Now let me remind folks. Now I'm going to assume they're not doing that because that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Let me just tell you why that would be so bad. Because first of all, Killing Joke, aside from being one of the most beloved Batman stories.
First of all, Barbara Gordon, like this whole character is an insult to Barbara Gordon.
Okay, but here let me just tell you why. Because first of all, the Joker himself, says that to Jim Gordon. The whole point of it, he's trying to drive Jim Gordon's hand with one bad day. If they're trying to draw a little reference, like trying to get a little spigot of gold out of the tree of that story. If they're like a little sappy piece of gold out of there, just completely just poo-poos the memory of that story. Someone trying to drive Jim Gordon insane, and you're just trying to reference that. If that can't be an intentional reference, it cannot be, or else I'm gonna lose it. So,
and do you buy that Gordon gives out a big Vader style?
Oh, what? No, So first of all, let's build to that for a moment. So she's saying, "Oh, I love you, and you love me." She lets go finally, and I was hoping it was going to be the last we'd ever seen of her. And then so the minute she lets go, and she falls, and Gordon lets out a big no. Why? No! Just why? Why would you say no? This woman has made your life a living heck from day one.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, she has been annoying.
She is actively, basically harassing and stalking your current girlfriend.
She was literally just about to kill you and cut your girlfriend's face off.
Right.
Why would you care? You should give a sigh of relief, like that was.
I know, exactly.
See, Gordon should be really happy. You know why? Because I didn't have to shoot her, so I'd have to live with knowing. Okay, she was right. I shot her.
What pisses me off, though? I bet the show did it is like, oh, hey, look, Gordon's a nice guy because he cares, even though she's crazy.
Look, let me tell you. So, I understand Gordon, not wanting any criminal to die. I get that. Doesn't want anyone to die, really. Like, again, the law states, if someone has a gun, you have to shoot them. But
he has such a big fucking, sense of remorse when he delivers it, though. That's the thing.
That's the thing. I mean, I get that Gordon has to feel a little badly for the bad guys. I get that and I understand. That's why, again, he felt sympathy for the Penguin. Mm-hmm. We get that. He tries talking him down. That's Gordon's strong suit, like Bridget. He tries talking him down. That's what he does.
Sure.
But this, I mean, this is it's a really personal thing, which of course, Gordon never wants to mix business with pleasure. I mean,
nope.
Gordon should have no reason for saying no. He should give a few sigh of relief. So, okay, at least I didn't prove right by shooting her, so I don't have to live fulfilling her big. She didn't win in the end. That's the important part. And then she fell to her death. But unfortunately, we find out, and again, this is done poorly, by the way. First of all, it's just we think she's dead. And unless we think she's dead, we come back from commercial, and apparently she didn't die. She fell in the bushes, and we have to have that explained to us.
Yeah, half a dozen broken bones and a concussion, but that's it.
How is she not dead?
Because the writers hate you. All right, so Tompkins says they need to talk. Not now, but they do.
Which makes me worry that don't tell me you're not going to break up with them.
Oh, I know. If that's the case, oh God.
Because we know next episode things aren't going to go well for Gordon. Like bad stuff's going to happen to Gordon next episode. I'm hoping they're not. Again, so far Leslie Tompkins has been kind of the Kim Wexler of Gotham in a way.
She has.
And she's the understanding girlfriend. She's the understanding presence of the show, and she would hopefully get past it and be peeved at him, understandably so. But don't break up with him.
Very understandably so.
Very understandably. Just come on.
Okay.
She almost suffered horrific knife related deaths twice in this season alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not great.
Knife throwing was almost Anyway, plus if they can't, I hope they don't try to pull off the whole Alfred romance this season. That's going to be.
Yeah.
over this. Anyways, then Barnes, I like this. This is going to sound like so silly, but I'm grasping at straws. You're looking for positive stuff in this episode. I love, like, Barnes is walking over and kind of like Gordon putting his arm around Barnes just as they keep on walking. Just
Yeah,
saying,
that was nice. That was nice. I picked up on that too.
yeah, it's the only thing really to grasp onto is saying, but look, did you learn anything? Yeah, the mayor's at the docks. We got to rescue him. Basically, they go to the docks, they rescue him. We see, thankfully, a glimmer of hope reappearing in the season. Our beloved Richard Kind. He's back in the show.
The world's most despicable mayor in a very fun kind of way.
And of course, people should now know him world-renownedly as being Bing Bong from Inside Out.
Oh, that's right! Oh my god! Fuck, I forgot about that.
Yeah, of course, other Pixar characters.
Oh boy.
There's been 2 other Pixar characters also, but I think we're going to know him forever as Bing Bong. Yeah,
who's your pal who likes to play?
Bing Bong, Bing Bong. So, anyway, the point is, if poor Mayor James. Now, first of all, let me point this out as this thing I meant to bring up last episode. But seriously, why did Gallivan not kill the mayor?
That's well, probably because Tabitha, maybe.
Just that's the only rationale. Like, she needs someone to torture. But even could they find just random people on the street to torture?
The only rationale I can think of. Yeah.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. Like, first of all, why, if you're just going to become mayor, and again, he's the only link, the thing that's tearing you down right now, you don't kill him?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I love the fact that he's not dead. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, logically, why kidnap him and just say, I mean, I get the idea that, okay, so the mayor's gone out of the picture, so you're saying he's on vacation, he recommended Gallivan for the job. That's the point, that's why the mayor disappeared. But after that, if you never intend on bringing him back, if you're going to become mayor, why keep him around?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big problem with Gallivan's plan.
Yeah, you're right. It's
a huge fault.
Skeleton in a closet. It's just a game-changing thing where if it's found out, it's just like it's over. So
anyway, so then you feel poor Mayor James. I mean, as much as the despicable, ill-equipped mayor, but still, I mean, you feel bad for the guy. He's been tortured for months. Been tortured for a month or 2 now, and he's just scared, and he's like saying, "Hello, is anyone there?" And then I love Gordon and Bullock. This is another simple thing with me. I love, the gun draw on the flashlight. It's like classic cop thing. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
In Darkware, I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, so they see this man with an iron cube on his head, and they say, "Oh my God, these people are sick."
Yeah, they are.
What's wrong with these people? So they save Mayor James. Mayor James has the ultimate line, though, of the episode. He says, "Oh, Mayor James, who did this to you? Who do you think?" Cut to Bruce and Gallivan. Bruce doesn't sign. Thankfully, he's learned a little something.
Thankfully, thank God.
Because if he signed that thing, I'm just gonna say, "Oh my God, are you serious?"
Hold on, audio, keep going.
Yeah, but seriously, if he did that, it would be the most ridiculous thing. If he signed,
keep going. I'll be right back.
Right, it's been ridiculous. So, anyway, so then Gallivan, as they're having a little discussion here, we get Gordon and the GCPD. They burst through the doors. Say, Alfred, get him to the side there. Get him away from Gallivan. Instant this happens. Again, Bruce rejected him. He threw the file right into the fireplace. Which, by the way, that fireplace has just been throughout the episode, but really just blazingly big flame throughout the episode. Throughout all the episodes, Gavin loves his fireplace. Really does. Anyway, so unfortunately, Thursday throws the file in the fire, so it may or may not have information, which probably did because Bunderslaw was under his command, so he probably got some information on there. Might have actually led to the killer, so not too sure. Anyway, so the instant the cops get there, they arrest Gallivan. He's under arrest for the torture. The one thing they do have him on for the torture and kidnapping of Mayor James. Which, by the way, just one thing I don't think was called for at all. Just Gordon. In this, what should be a great scene. Just there's a thing. Just Tiki, can you hear me? I mean, sorry, not. Never mind. So. So basically, Gordon just walks in there and he punches him, which just bugs me. It's just it's a mistake on Gordon's part because Barnes, being the guy just so devoted to the rules. I mean, Gordon just walks in there, just punches him in the face. You ever think you'd see me again? It's just it doesn't. It's uncalled for, and it's something like Galvin could use to his advantage, especially if he gets someone like Harvey Dent on his side, which I'm hoping they don't go in that direction. I don't want to hate Harvey Dent for that. You know, it's just it's ridiculous. Anyway, so and yet another dumb moment to end the episode out on before our big reveal is Bruce just yelling at the fireplace. Yelling at the ashes in the fireplace of the file as the cops lead Galvin out of the room. Tell me who killed them. Tell me who killed them. It's silly. It's just like, come on, Bruce. I get that you're upset, but you're just yelling at embers, man. That's not cool. It's not. Yeah, it's nothing. Anyway.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
Anyway, so main thing I was mentioning is just Gordon didn't need to punch Galvin right off. He could use that legally against him. Of course, Barnes being in the room, it's.
Yeah, that was not a very good decision. I agree.
He walked right up and punched him and arrested him. And then I'm really hoping Harvey Dent's not going to be the lawyer to Galvin calls to his defense. I'm really hoping.
Okay. I'm glad you actually mentioned that because I was kind of picking up a vibe that Harvey Dent was also stupidly naive about Gallivan. So.
I'm just hoping they don't do that because I don't want to just put Harvey against Gordon like that.
Well, we'll see. Now that you brought it up, I hate to say it, but I actually really picture it that way. Okay.
Anyway, it's also Bruce kind of slowly just yelling at the embers. Tell me who killed them.
Wait, what?
Remember, Bruce was just yelling at the embers in the fireplace of the file. Tell me who killed them.
So you think it's stupid that he's yelling at the embers?
Yes.
Okay, I do too a little bit.
Don't get me wrong. I get that he's upset. My heart goes out to the kid, and just you get he's upset. But out of all the lines you could have said, that's where take Gordon's note, just put it to Bruce Wayne. No.
Right. Okay. Well,
and then we get our obvious reveal. Yet it's still a cool reveal, though. So
it is cool.
Nigma has followed the trail of blood. No weapon. I guess his intention was to maybe kill the person with the flashlight, maybe, or whatever object.
And then he finds this cabin RV type thing, and out walks Chick Hogan, and he offers Nigma some ball jerky.
No, it's a different show.
Want some bull jerky, Riddle Man?
Basically, he's peering into the trailer. Here's some, he has a TV's on or something, and he's hearing a sound. And then basically the door opens, slams, hits Enigma right in the face. The glasses come flying off, and he's kind of flailing the ground. Looks like he's going to grab a flashlight, grab glasses, and then it's revealed to be the Penguin, as expected. Penguin's got like a crowbar or something. He's swinging around there. Some metal thing he's swinging around there.
I like how Nigma addresses him as Mr. Penguin.
I love that too. By the way, now let me ask you this: what do you think it is? Do you think it says Penguin stops his attack because just he's weak, or because he does a little drop the thing after that, or because he recognizes Nigma with the glasses on?
I think maybe it's because he recognizes Nigma.
First time I watched it, I thought it was that, but then the second time, it looks like he just kind of weak and drops it.
Okay,
but I do love the addressing him as Mr. Penguin, which of course builds upon the thing we've been hoping for, is that Riddler seeking mentorship from the Penguin. It's all, help me, please, and then Penguin passes out.
All right, and then want to quickly go through the promo stuff, get some speculation going.
So let me say this again: this episode was an utter dumpster fire, but next episode, Bitter Pill to Swallow. At least the promo looks fantastic.
It does.
Absolutely fantastic. Let me run you through a few of the cool things we saw. So Gordon's got a gun in a guy's mouth, and he almost kills him, just yelling at him, So it's just one thing.
Very intense.
Very cool way to open a promo. And so basically, Gordon's at wit's end, and he's nearly crossed the line. He and Barnes are having a chat, which implies maybe that's going to be kind of the reveal scene. They're basically saying, there is Barnes confessing to him. He's not yelling at him this stuff either. He's just talking to him. He's saying, well, there is no line. And we're probably going to get some Barnes flashback. It looks like that why Barnes is there. Why Barnes is so dedicated to black and white law type stuff. Penguin and Enigma are teaming up. They're torturing a guy together. It looks like. Let's see. there's just the law. That's what separates us from the animals. Looks like Gordon versus Nigma
Hmm.
in a scene, which looks really awesome too. But it looks like Nigma's got some fighting moves. It's interesting. And basically, then the last line of the whole thing is like, "There's no line."
Yeah.
And that's the promo. So
And
speculation.
hopefully with the title, we get Hugo Strange. That's what we're hoping for.
What I'm hoping for is that Bitter Pill Swallow is going to be like a dual title, like the Bitter Pill Swallow being the main thing, speculating on be like Nigma's reveal, and Gordon just being, just kind of taking out that being the Bitter Pill Swallow. That Nigma's gone bad. So basically,
I can see that because Gordon kind of does have this whole older brother, little brother dynamic with Nigma going on.
What I think they're going to really nail more so than like kind of the subtle thing, the older brother, little brother thing. I think what they're really going to hammer on there is that there's another killer in the GCPD, someone we least suspect, someone who, from what I know, is a decent guy. I mean,
right.
Yet
exactly.
another person is lost to this madness, and right under our noses, and that's just going to be Gordon's kind of breaking point of like, then that's the Bitter Pill Swallow. Of course, maybe the subtext would be, Bruce Wayne maybe looking in the company might be the side story, and the just introduce Hugo Strange. I don't think there's going to be a lot of. I think it's going to be mainly Nigma and Penguin, but probably a bit of Hugo Strange introduction.
I hope so.
And also, we got
the fact that this guy is literally showing up in my dreams means I can't fucking wait to actually see him.
Yeah. Well, speaking of casting, we have a new character cast.
Okay.
He's played by. Do you watch Sons of Anarchy at all?
No, that's kind of one of my many shows that I need to watch.
I don't watch it, but I hear good things. Anyway, so there's this character, this actor named Tom Flanagan. Now, apparently plays a beloved character on that show, who I don't know. But he's playing an original character for the show, for Gotham, called
The only person I know from that show is Ron Perlman.
Yeah, I mean, I know the actor, but I don't know the characters or anything about them.
No,
so point is, Tom Flanagan's playing this character called the Knife. Now, Knife is an original character of the show. He's basically supposedly a charming, charismatic hitman character. He's basically a deadly hitman, but he's like supposed to be kind of like a friendly yet deadly kind of guy. Like he'll sit down.
Victor Zsasz?
Well, I mean, we don't know who he's going to be. Basically, this guy like works for the highest bidder, so we know Zsasz is loyal.
Does Zsasz fit the bill of like a charming hitman?
No, he does. I'm just saying this is another guy who's going to be kind of like that. But what it might be is this.
I'm skeptical of this guy. He sounds kind of Petrelli-like.
No, he's going to be. It sounds. I don't know, the description of the guy sounds promising, but that's just based on the description, though. So I don't have no bearing on this guy. I'm just saying the idea of kind of like he said, like he'll have a drink with you and everything, but he'll kill you in an instant the minute he has.
Yeah, we'll see.
So I'm thinking he'd be kind of like an answer to Victor Zsasz for someone. It's like, how do we contend with Penguin's big weapon there? Well, we have another guy.
So where do they possibly go with Barbara after this episode?
I don't want to think about it. Well, now let me bring this up. So they mentioned in the episode, I would love it if they went there, but I don't think they're going to, that Barbara, Leslie mentioned that Barbara's injuries are critical.
Okay, so what if Barbara gets taken to Hugo Strange and she becomes one of Strange's experiments?
That I would love it if they went that direction. I think that
would be awesome, and that would like kind of salvage their decision to not kill her off right now.
Well, actually, wait a minute.
What?
Well, I don't know if they're going to do that. Well, they're not going to experiment on her from just the injury on. What they will do, what they could do, is here's how we're going to work Barbara back into the plot and hopefully do fix it. Is that
fix it?
Here's the odd thing. It's so strange. It's like literally the same solution as season 1 of like, well, we make her crazy. What do we do from this point? We make her crazier. But seriously, here's what they're going to do.
That just seems to be like the go-to strategy with her.
No, but seriously, here's what they're going to do, Tiki. It's actually, you mentioned that. So Hugo Strange is an Arkham doctor. That's his thing. Arkham doctor does the Indian Hill thing on the side. It's on Arkham land. So what's going to happen is Barbara, when she eventually finds her way back to Arkham Asylum, Hugo will probably link up with Hugo Strange indefinitely at that point.
God. Okay.
He selects patients for these experiments, so that's probably Barbara.
Sure.
I just hope to God they don't try to make her like Fish Mooney in the prison. If they do that, I'm gonna.
Oh no! We already kind of had like a hint of that maybe happening. The one episode she was in Arkham, so.
Yeah. So that's all I'm hoping is that it's going to be that she gets experimented on. That'd be an excellent idea. So basically, that's how she will link up with Hugo Strange, and that will hopefully happen to her. It's the
Okay.
only salvageable thing you can do to Barbara is make her completely inhuman now.
Any other spec?
Yeah, just not a lot, but just so again, this is probably going to be Jim and Barnes is kind of bonding, and maybe him inserting the truth there and it going well. Like, oh, I went over the line too once.
Possibly.
Yeah, it seems like a good scene. Again, so I'm thinking this Enigma revelation is going to be pushing Jim to a bad place, just kind of in the whole going over the line thing. I think they're building Barnes looking up to Jim this next episode. I think they're going to be building that idea next episode.
I mean, we already saw him being very steadfast in rescuing Gordon, so we know that he has a connection with him.
Because they've really been dwelling on the fact that he is actually inspired by Gordon. He knows he's brushed up on Gordon so far, but they might be kind of
exactly.
Enigma and Penguin are going to be teaming up, which would be cool, and kind of again maybe a paralleling mentorship going on there.
Perhaps.
You know, that's really all I got for Spec. Again, Who is Strange is on the way, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to squeeze in. I think we only have like 2, maybe 3 episodes left this season. I mean, this half of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if we're going to get Freeze in this half or.
I don't think we'll get. I think they're going to say Freeze for the next half. I'm
convinced when we get to Arkham, I wonder how they're going to work Tetch into it. I wonder if it'd be great if Tetch was like working on mind. It'd be kind of great if Jervis Tetch, who's the whole thing's mind control Tiki.
Mm-hmm.
If some of Hugo Strange's kind of experiments involved a scientist involving Jervis Tetch who like developed some of the technology and the mind-altering techniques for him.
That could be a good way to work him.
And maybe Strange turns on him or something, uses that against him, and like he liked Alice in Wonderland. That basically turning the experiments on him made him obsessed with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It drove him nutty, as like tying up loose ends, perhaps.
Okay, well,
that's really all I got for Spec. Final thoughts on this episode.
Go ahead. It's all you.
I really, 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 really didn't like this episode. I hated this episode so much. Again, the only good element was just predictable as all get out. It was still good, but predictable. Like we did. Could have just used it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Could have just used it in 2 scenes instead of like spread out to the thing, giving us false hope. Barbara again, get some imagery and just like a potential direction to go with Barbara. Like we're staging the wedding, going from this little dream sequence we get at the beginning there. I gave like a little analysis of Barbara Gordon to see maybe what direction they're coming from. It just does not pan out at all well. It's not good. It's the most disappointing episode of Gotham. It's again, I want to say worse, but then again, Ogre.
The Ogre wasn't just bad; it was like 3 episodes worth of just
it's like,
horrible.
Here's the thing: it's like length versus because remember there were a few things interspersed with Ogre, which makes me hesitant to say, makes me linger on deeming it bad, worse than or not. But it's just Ogre was.
I just think that whole storyline as a whole is just bad.
I mean, again, the beginning of it had maybe some bit of potential, but then it just went on way too long. And the third one was just terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just this episode though was just no better. It was still just just bad, just so painful and so bad. Everything again. Our best scene with Bruce Wayne has an emotional thing, but the dialogue makes no sense. It's just good sentiment. It's all bad. It's all God. It's all for naught. It's all no. It's why is he saying no? Why is she saying do me?
Oh God!
Why?
I have
it's
literally.
It's a madhouse.
I have literally nothing to add here. I think you've summed it up.
It's awful.
Well, it's a terrible episode.
It's mind torture.
Oh God! All right. So with that in mind, you want to end this torture on ourselves by talking about this episode by taking us out?
So remember, folks, no matter how dark. I don't know if I can. How dark and scary the world is right now. There'll be light. Doesn't seem like it right now. It really doesn't. But there will most likely. Well, next episode seems more likely that there will be light.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again. Oh, Barbara, for God's sake!